Today I'm creating another look using Natasha Denona's Hyper Natural Face Palette. But before we begin, I'm going to go in with my foundation. So the foundation of choice today is the True Match Foundation by L'Oreal. This one is in the shade 4D4W. It's a warm undertone. And it is a little bit warmer for me right now because I do feel I'm a little fairer in my skin tone. But I will make sure it goes down my neck and décolletage and blend it in really well so we don't see the color change too much. I'm using one of the Fernando Herves foundation brushes and I'm just buffing it all over my face, over my eyes and underneath my eyes everywhere. This is the Contour Wand by McoBeauty. It's one of my favorites. It's very easy to use and one where I can just easily warm up my face, give it a little bit of shape and contour. I'm using the same brush and I'm just really pressing that into exactly where I want it and just blending it into the foundation, making sure I don't get my hair there. I'm blending it in. Now, before I started, I did have some product in my brows and I also did have mascara on, just in case you noticed that I did have that before I began. So just buffing that in. This is the McoBeauty. This is one of the brow fix. This is called the Brow Fill and Set. I'm just using the set side. It's a little spoolie wand and I'm combing it through my brows just up and out, giving them some shape and a little bit of color and making sure they don't move. Now I'm going in with the contour shades first and I'm using the darker of the three shades and I'm just going over exactly the same place where I put that creamy product from McoBeauty and again down on my décolletage as well. I'm using the same shade to really carve out my eye socket but keeping it quite high and high up on the brow. I'd like to try and create some lift here with my eyes just because they are starting to get a little bit hooded. So I'm just popping that straight on the brow up there underneath that brow into the crease and just on the top to give a little bit of shape and running it a bit down the side of the nose as well. And I do go back and forth a few times just to blend that in and make it as seamless as possible. We're going for the pinks today. This shade is gorgeous. It is such a beautiful pop of color. What I do love about, it's called Dreamy. What I do love about these colors in this palette is there is no real fallout from the shimmer. It kind of turns into a more of a creamy shade as opposed to a dry shade. So I press it on with a flat brush and then as you can see, I just sweep it back and forth and it blends in beautifully. I'm going in with this blush shade just to really soften off those edges and on both sides as well. I'm using a large fluffy brush for this. Taking the darker blush shade and I'm just placing that right in the crease. I do want to make this just a really pink look, like a pink eyeshadow, nice and cool. And I know the contour shade was a little bit warm, so that's why I'm really pinking it up a bit, if that's even a word. Placing that same shade under the eyes area as well. And once again, going in with that fluffy brush and just blending it out so it's very seamless. This is one of the Rumi Cosmetiques eyeliner pencils. I love these pencils. This one is in brown. It's a gorgeous chocolate shade. They're very, very creamy, water resistant, so they go on really well. So I'm just creating that very, very soft wing, which I like to do. It really helps to sort of pull out the eyes a little bit, give them some bit more shape and definition, and add that touch of drama. Especially since having pink eyeshadow does make it quite pale. This gives us that nice sort of contrast between the pink and the brown. This is the mascara. This is the McoBeauty. This is the Extend. And I'm just placing that over the mascara that I had on from this morning. So it is a little bit double layer there. Now the Saint René's, this is called Bellagio. It is a gorgeous pink shade. And I'm using this on my lips. And as you can see, I just need to do the top lip. And then with one rub together, I've pretty much done the bottom lips. Same thing, I'm going to place this on my cheeks because this is a lip and cheek tint. And I'm just placing it nice and high to give myself a flush of color, using the same foundation brush just to blend that in. Then from the Hyper Face palette, I'm going to use the blush in there as well. So the darker pink up top, and then I'm going in with the lighter pink just on the apples of my cheeks. So blending the two colors together and using them as one. One of the final touches here will be the concealer. This is to help really lift and bring out these areas of the face. So I'm just dotting it on. I don't like to overuse concealer, especially under my eyes. I feel this does end up sort of making my fine lines and wrinkles stand out even more. So I do try and be quite cautious with how much concealer I put under the eyes. So a little bit on the inner corner and then a little bit on the outer corner as well. I'm doing it up under the cheekbones. That creates a bit of lift. Just using a very large fluffy brush here to just sort of fan that out and just make it really seamless. Now, going back in with that blush, I'm just brushing it, over the brow bone to really give that sort of flush of color and really make it all very cohesive with the rest of the look and bringing it a little bit further out, almost meeting the blush that I have on my face as well. Last but not least, going in with the Home Beauty, this is the Empower Duo. There's 2 shades in here, a white and a light brown, and I'm just using this to really set my face and get rid of any excess shininess. I really hope you like this look. Let me know what you think.